Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today's one's going to be about the legendary version of the Astral alignment activity that just came out on the 19th of October. So on reset, Bungie did release the new difficulty for their seasonal arena, the Astral alignment activity, which takes place on the Dreaming City. And I just wanted to make a quick video explaining my thoughts and opinions on the activity and kind of go over how I feel about it and just kind of convey that message to you guys because I feel like it's important. It was on the calendar. It was kind of made out to be a little bit of a big deal. And it's kind of the last piece of content we have coming up for quite a while, at least on the calendar and from what I can see clearly here. So yeah, it was kind of the last big thing that we have for a little bit here. So I feel like I should just go ahead and make a video about it and explain my thoughts on it. So let's go ahead and get into this. So before I go ahead and get into the video, I just want to go ahead and say if you guys want to check out some gameplay of the new legendary difficulty of the Astral alignment, go ahead and check my last video. I have a whole video dedicated on strictly gameplay if you want to go check that out, but this video is just going to have some generic gameplay of Battlegrounds in the background because I was kind of sick of it and I did not want to go play another Astral alignment activity today and record that for this video. I kind of wanted to go play something else, so in case anybody's wondering why I'm having this in the background, that's why. So now let's go ahead and get into the activity and basically what it is and how it compares to the normal version of the activity. So in the legendary version, your light requirement will be 1320. I believe you can go in under that, but it recommends you to be 1320. So if you're around 1320 to 1330, you'll be fine. If you're 1310, you'll be okay, but things will get tough. And if you're only like 1300, things are going to start to be pretty annoying to you. So just keep that in mind. It's a 1320 activity. I believe the base version is like 1250 or something like that. So you do have to level up a little bit, but it's really not that difficult to hit 1320 between your artifact and your gear, especially at this point in the season. So it has a higher light requirement. There's also match game, so the enemies are going to be much more resistant to opposing affinities on your weapons. So you got to basically make sure, if you bring in a team, you really want to make sure you cover all of the affinities, Arc, Solar, and Void, to help peel those shields off, because I did go in and it's very annoying with match game. You want to make sure you have a fire team with a diverse amount of affinities so that everybody can help peel shields off of all the enemies and actually kill them, because that will be very annoying. And then it also has like the GM mechanic where if everybody wipes, you go to orbit. So basically when you go in, you want to be playing with people who are slightly competent, because if you guys all end up dying, and I did LFG today, and I think at one point I was the last living guardian, and if you guys all wipe, you will go to orbit. And obviously some people will try this low man, possibly even solo, I imagine. I personally probably won't be doing it solo. I don't really see the need for that, and most people probably won't be doing this solo, but some of the freaks out there probably will try this solo just to say that they did it. It's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. It's a pretty low light compared to some things. It's on par with like a legendary Nightfall difficulty, which is definitely soloable, so it's not too high enough light where people can't do that. So yeah, but basically lock loadout, match game, and if you wipe, you go to orbit. Also, as you can imagine, in a 1320 activity, the champions aren't going to be that difficult, but you definitely want to make sure you bring in the mods because they will be very helpful. Things like the unstoppable champions are going to be very difficult to take out without the proper mods. The overloads I find were pretty easy to take out if people just focus them down, but the unstoppables definitely will give you a hard time. And as you can imagine, there's no anti-barrier. There was none in the regular version, and there's none in the legendary version either. So, but yeah, you want to make sure that you bring in your champion mods because they will be very annoying. So, and especially along with match game, obviously the champions don't have shields, but running the proper affinities and having everybody run different affinities so you can cover all shield bases. You also want to make sure that everybody in your fire team brings in champion mods. And yeah, it's just going to be a much more annoying environment compared to the normal activity. It's not so high enough light where it's like, oh, I'm getting one tap by this thing, but it is very noticeable difference between the base version. You can basically tank a lot of stupid stuff in the base version, but in the legendary version you're not going to be able to do that. It's going to be more annoying. If the ads start to focus fire you, you are going to get melted pretty quick. So just keep that in mind. It's not extremely difficult, but it's also not like, oh, I can willy-nilly this without mods, without the right weapons to help, fill in the affinity gaps that I need to run for the team. No, it's like you actually need to run the right weapons, cover those affinities, and run champion mods, and it will make a difference. I promise you that. So next up, we're going to get into the loot structure of this activity, and this is kind of where it starts to take a bad turn for me. So basically, this activity is going to take you roughly twice as long as the normal Astral alignment activity. As long as you have like a semi-competent team and you're going through it at a good pace, it's probably going to take you anywhere from like 1.5 times to about twice as long to complete this. And unfortunately, the only thing you get at the end of this activity is another chest that drops, and you spend your parallax trajectory on it to open it up. And unfortunately, you're not guaranteed anything good out of it. It's just going to give you another drop that you normally can get from just running the normal version. There's nothing unique in this activity, period. It's just another chest that you spend your parallax trajectory on, and you can get one of the new 6 seasonal weapons or pieces of armor. And generally, it's just a low stat piece of armor as well, and the weapons are not tier 3, so there's no new unique perks or anything. It's just the same old loot. This is really not a good look in my opinion. I don't really like this loot structure at all. I don't like the mentality of, oh, you spent double the time in the activity, so here's double the loot. It's like, no. If you're gonna go back into an activity and adjust the structure of how the activity plays out, and you're gonna change the modifiers and increase the difficulty and all this sort of stuff, I think that you need to go ahead and change the loot structure and add something unique, like something specific that people want to chase for, something that you can only get in the legendary version of the Astral alignment activity. Really incentivize people to go into this content and want to actually play it, not just be like, oh, I'm gonna go in once, complete it for my title, and then never touch it again. Just a little hot take, I think that something like Agar Scepter Catalyst probably should have been in the legendary version of this activity, because as of right now, there's nothing unique about it. It's like, oh, I go in, I spend double the time to do it, I can open one extra chest at the end of the activity, and that's it. You know what I mean? And there's always the risk in the background that if the team does wipe, say you're not playing with a very competent team, and you guys all go to orbit, now you just wasted God knows how much time you just spent in there. So it can be kind of a dicey affair. I don't really like the loot structure. I don't like that risk in the background if you're playing with people who are maybe underpowered, and 3 or 4 of you die and 2 of you try to be heroes and save them, and then you end up wiping, and it's not really far out of the realm of possibility that the team is going to wipe and you guys are going to go to orbit and you're going to have a lot of wasted time. And then once you finally do make it through the content, it's like, oh, I get one extra chest at the end. And maybe if you were guaranteed one tier 3 weapon focus at the end, I would probably say it would be worth it. Personally, would I still run it? Probably not. But it would definitely give me, a little bit of incentive, and I probably would farm it here and there, maybe something like that. I definitely wouldn't be in there all the time. But as of right now, the loot structure is just absolutely horrible in there, and there's really no good reason to be in there at all. It's basically complete it once for the title, and then you're done with it. And yeah, I just don't really agree with the loot structure at all. I really think that they need to add something in there to spice that up, because as of right now, it's just not going to do very well. So yeah, like I said, if there was something in this activity that was more worth my time to chase, I probably would have had and said, oh yeah, it's actually not too bad. It's increased difficulty. I don't really agree with the matchmaking, but I do understand it. The higher the difficulty of an activity, you're probably going to want to go out and find other people to play with, because if it was match made, you'd be finding people who are too low a power, this, that, and the other. So I do agree with it probably not being match made, even though that probably does piss some people off. It's like, oh well. And overall, the loot structure is horrible, but if you could focus a tier 3 engram to get a tier 3 weapon drop, or it was guaranteed high stat armor, and there was something else in there, maybe a unique weapon that only drops in there and it has really good perks or something like that, just anything in there other than just another chest to spend your seasonal currency on to just get another drop that you can get literally anywhere else, and it probably would have been worth it. As of right now, I feel like this activity just exists to exist. It has no purpose, it has no meaning. It was just purely filler content just with the hope of being like, oh, at this reset, go play the legendary version of the Astral Alignment activity and have fun wasting your time. You know, I don't want to bash them, but they really didn't see this one out, and I think they do deserve to get roasted for it a little bit. This is very hollow content in my opinion. But anyways, yeah, there's really nothing new coming up until the anniversary, which is like a month and a half away, so there's not too much going on. The calendar's pretty empty, and this was kind of like the last big thing, I guess you could say, for quite a while here, at least from what I can see. So, you know, anyways, I kind of just wanted to give my thoughts on it. I thought that, you know, it definitely needed to be talked about, and I just kind of wanted to throw my thoughts out there and see what you guys think, see if you guys agree with me, disagree with me, say it in the comment section below. I kind of want to hear what you guys think about it. Maybe I'm being too harsh on it, maybe I'm not, who knows. But that is going to be a wrap on this video. If you've made it to this point, you are a real OG, and I very much appreciate you. If you guys did enjoy this video again, be sure to give it a thumbs up and drop a comment below letting me know what you think of the matter and what you think of my opinions on it. And let me know if you agree with me, disagree with me. I'll be reading the comments below and replying to you guys. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, peace out. Have a good one.